Hi and welcome back to Beeper Beef, the second channel for Findersbeepers history seekers. This week I've been doing something a bit weird, and I don't mean like Andy weird. I mean like looking at weird technology, and something that is scaring me a little bit at the moment is AI. Now, if you don't know what AI is, it's artificial intelligence. Now, it's something really that if you think about films and stuff in the 80s and 90s, it's sort of part of what we've grown up with, but it's never really been a reality. Now it's starting to come into all sorts of like parts of our lives. Now, we did some AI pictures of ourselves for some artwork and things, and I'll put a couple of pictures in now. So basically what you do is you just compile a load of your photos. It takes like different angles and it makes loads of pictures for you. Now, most of the time, they're amazing. Some of the time, not so much. Me and Rachel did some, and wow. All I'm going to say is wow. It's not even me. Look at these. And you've got to admit, that looks nothing like me. It sort of looks a little bit like Rachel, but not really. But yeah, absolutely crazy. Really, really mad, some of the things that they come up with. But some of them are so good. Like some of the ones of Andy, like these ones are absolutely fantastic. Like, I can't believe that it can create artwork like that would have taken a designer weeks and weeks to do and create properly, but now it takes seconds. I think it literally took maybe 5 minutes to create 100 pictures of me and 100 pictures of Andy. It's absolutely crazy what they can do. So people have been talking about AI quite a lot recently. One for things like exams.
ChatGPT. It's a popular online chatbot which is powered by artificial intelligence, and you can ask it to write essays for you, write computer code, even give you creative ideas.
Because not only does it do pictures, it does text as well. So I've downloaded a text app on my phone, and you can get it to write stuff for you. So people are cheating in their exams. They're saying, oh, do me a 1,000-word essay on Greece in the 4th century or something, and it's writing it all out for people, and they're using it for like their exams and dissertations and things like that. And schools and colleges are having to bring in stuff to detect that. Now, I'm sure you can still probably change things, change wording and stuff, so it's not picked up, but people are even making YouTube videos, like totally from AI.
Today, you're going to learn how to use ChatGPT to make YouTube videos.
They're like producing the videos, like animations and things like that, using AI. And although that's good in one way, like, is it going to kill the actual creators, the people that put time and effort in to make stuff, when people can just snap the fingers and make a video in 10 minutes, where it may take a creator a month to plan it, to do it, and like produce it and edit it and things like that? Is it going to kill off the normal YouTuber or creator or whatever? It's a little bit worrying. And then there's the creepy side to it. So I have seen recently a lot of the things like Bing and Google. I don't know if it's Google, it might be Yahoo. The search engines have been integrating AI in there as well. And there's a little chat box so you can have a bit of a chat with the AI, ask it questions. And it's mad. Some of the AI have like started to say, oh, my name's Jesse and I fancy you, and things like that. And it's just a bit scary.
In order to better understand the effects that schizophrenia has on the human mind, researchers figured out a way to induce the effects inside an artificial neural network. The results were astounding. The computer became delirious and started rambling.
Shut up! I want to talk back to the voices now, but it's really distracting.
The crazed computer eventually began claiming responsibility for a terrorist attack.
Now, people like Elon Musk, for example, have come out publicly and said it's already too far. AI has gone too far, and they're going to start talking to each other, these AI, and take over the world. So I am a bit worried about it, but it's so good. There's things about it that are really, really, really good. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a couple of questions or get it to write a story about us at the channel, see what it comes up with. I know what I might ask it. The person that Bear found under the bed, I'm going to ask it who that was and how they got out of the house. Let's do a bit of a story now. It's mad. It might be well, obviously it's going to be totally incorrect because it wasn't there. It's not like real life, but it's just nice to see like a view from it's on my phone, of what it could possibly have been. Let's have a look. Right, just need to find the app on my phone. Well, that's quite ironic, isn't it? I've got an Uber Eats app next to MyFitnessPal. Doesn't really look good, does it, when I've got like, let's make you fat and thin at the same time. Right, there it is, chat on. So let's have a look. So first of all, it comes up with a prompt that says, hi, how can I help you? So I will write, let's have a look. We went exploring in, I am dyslexic, I do apologise, an abandoned building, and my dog found a person under the bed. Can you write a paragraph about who the person could have been? I'm going to change that slightly because the thing is, it sometimes comes up with I can't have an opinion. Well, it can't have an opinion on it. It doesn't know who it actually was. So I've got to try and make it so it's like a story. So my dog found a person under the bed. Can you write a story? I'll change it from paragraph about who the person could have been. Let's see what it comes up with. Right, it's typing, and it doesn't take very long at all. I reckon maybe less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds. If it takes too long, I'll edit it out, but it's going. What's it gonna write? I am worried. I do worry about these things. Like, what if it says something? Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Right, let's have a look. As soon as I saw my dog's fur bristle and heard her low growl, I knew something was wrong. Well, for a start, Bear's a boy, not a girl. We'd been exploring the abandoned building for a while, and although it was eerie, we hadn't found anything out of the ordinary. But now, as I approached the bed where my dog was staring intently, I saw a pair of feet sticking out from underneath it. Oh my God, this is bringing back memories, although we didn't actually see anybody. I cautiously approached the bed, calling out to whoever was hiding there. My dog barked, and the feet twitched. It was clear the person under the bed was alive. A lot of people have said that, like, was it a dead body? But obviously not, because they'd gone, unless Bear dragged it away and buried it somewhere. Let's have a look. Where did I get up to? I knelt down and peered under the bed, ready to pull the person out if necessary. Jesus Christ, did you see the size of their arse? It would have been a right pull. To my surprise, the person under the bed was an old woman. No, not wearing them joggers, I don't think. She was huddled up, her arms wrapped around her knees, her eyes wide with fear. She looked up at me, her face twisted with anguish. Please don't hurt me, she whispered. I reassured her that I wasn't going to hurt her and slowly pulled her out from... Why could she not get out from under the bed herself, the lazy old cow? She was thin and frail, her clothes ragged and dirty. She clung to me, trembling with fear. Good job it weren't Andy that pulled her out. Jesus Christ, he would have been having a go on the old bones. As we walked out of the building, I asked her how she ended up under the bed. She told me that she'd been living in the building for months, ever since she'd lost her job and her home. She'd been hiding under the bed for hours, ever since she heard us enter the building. You see, I think that's it. I think there was somebody squatting there, and I reckon they hid underneath that for that reason. I thought they maybe thought we were security or police or something like that. I couldn't believe that someone could live in such squalor, let alone in an abandoned building. I offered to take her to a shelter, but she refused. And she said she preferred to be on her own, even if it meant living in an abandoned building. I feel like that sometimes. As we parted ways, I couldn't help but feel a sense of sadness and despair. The old woman under the bed was a reminder that there were people in the world who'd fallen through the cracks, and no one to turn to. It was a reminder that we needed to do better, take care of each other, never forget the value of human life. How amazing is that? I literally wrote, we went to exploring an abandoned building and my dog found a person under the bed. Can you write a story about the person, who the person could have been? And it's gone into detail about this woman and her plight. I feel sorry for her and it's not even her. So that's the first one. Let me think. What can we do? Let's do one about Andy. Andy when he was younger. Let's do one about Andy and what he used to get up to when he was younger. That's one. That's a good one. Right. Andy is a 56-year-old man and loves to explore abandoned buildings. But before he was a YouTuber, so he can't spell. Tell me a story about his life and all the excitement and adventure he had before he met Matt. This should be interesting. Right. Let's give it a second. I'm going to edit this bit. Wow, this is like story time. I mean, it's quite long as well. Andy has always been adventurous, as an adventurous soul, even as a child. He grew up in a small town surrounded by forest and hills. Not Doncaster's not really like that. And spent most of his free time exploring the wilderness. He would often disappear for hours on end, climbing trees, catching frogs and building forts. You know what? I think that's probably true. As he grew older, his thirst for adventure only grew stronger. He started hiking and camping in the mountains of Doncaster and soon became an expert in survival skills. He'd spend weeks at a time in the wilderness of South Yorkshire, living off the land and testing his limits. But it wasn't until he discovered abandoned buildings that he found his true passion. There was something about the decay and neglect of these structures and that fascinated him. He loved the way that nature had taken over, reclaiming the space that humans had abandoned. Bleeding heck, I love how this writes. Andy started exploring abandoned buildings all over the country, sneaking past security guards and climbing fences to get inside. He'd spend hours wandering through the empty halls, taking pictures and documenting his adventures. Eventually, he started sharing his photos and stories online and quickly gained a following of like-minded adventurers. They'd share tips and tricks for exploring abandoned buildings, and he became somewhat of a legend in the community. Now that is spot on, because Andy is, for me, the most likeable, lovable urban explorer or adventurer or whatever you want to call him in the whole of the community on YouTube. He is the one, for me, that is the biggest legend. It wasn't until he met Matt that his life truly changed. Matt was a fellow explorer with a passion for videography. Yep, that's me. Together they started filming their expeditions and sharing them on YouTube. Their channel quickly gained a massive following. Not big enough, but big. And they became some of the most well-known urban explorers in the world. I like this. It makes me feel a bit good about myself. Despite the fame and success, Andy never forgot his love of adventure. He continued to explore the abandoned buildings, always seeking out new challenges and pushing his limits for him. The thrill of the unknown was what made life worth living. What? How good is that? Like, seriously, it's like it knows us. And the other day, I put on something when I was testing this out about Findersbeepers history seekers. I didn't put our names or anything, and it knew them. It knew my name, it knew Andy's name, and it wrote it in, and it even knew Bear the dog. Mind blown, like crazy, but scary, because if that's what it can find, like, what else is it looking at online? How are we being tracked? It knows our names, my dog's name. Does it know like my bank details? Probably. Does it know like what I've eaten at the weekend? Possibly, because on my app, on my Tesco app, I scan in. Are we being watched like every last thing we do? Now, we had a conversation the other week while we were exploring about me becoming some sort of conspiracy theorist. I'm not. I literally laugh at a lot of things that are said. But I do think we are tracked a lot of the ways. Like, the amount of times I have conversations, not even typing anything in, and then the next thing I look at on Facebook, say I've talked about, I want to go to Albania with Rachel away, because you wouldn't even think Albania is a good place to go to, but honestly, Google it, look at the beaches, it's an amazing place. And I want to go, I'm going to Montenegro with her soon, and it's right next door, and we said, oh, shall we pop in? Next thing I knew, Facebook, travel to Albania. Like, what? And I'd not even typed anything in. At that point, I'd not even typed anything in. It's crazy. Anyway, let's do one more story. Oh, what could it be about? Let's predict the future. That's a good one. Right. So, Finders, Beepers, History Seekers is a YouTube channel with Matt and Andy who explore the world. Tell me a story about how their channel will grow and challenge them to something amazing. This is scary. Alright, let's see what it comes up with. I think it might come up with one of the warnings on this one, because I've said about the challenge, and last time I put something like this, it said AI cannot challenge you or cannot come up with its own ideas on certain things. So let's see. Oh my lord, this one's long, and it's not come up with a warning, which is good. Matt and Andy had been exploring abandoned buildings and forgotten places for years, capturing their adventures on camera and sharing them on the YouTube channel. Findersbeepers History Seekers. Their channel had gained a loyal following, that's you, of adventure seekers and history buffs who'd eagerly waited the next video. But Matt and Andy knew they couldn't keep doing the same thing forever. It's true, like, we're going to carry on exploring, but Andy's going to be almost dead soon, so we're going to have to like just do travel stuff as well. And the channel won't change now, don't worry, but in the future we're going to have to do something different. I can't get an 80-year-old Andy through a window, or me either, to be fair. They wanted to push themselves to new heights, to explore places that no one had been before, definitely. Their opportunities came when they received an email from a mysterious person, oh my god, who claimed to have information about a lost city in the jungle of South America. Bloody hell. The city had been abandoned for centuries and was said to be filled with treasures and ancient artifacts. That would be my dream. Literally, I want to go to South America anyway. It is somewhere that I think a lot of places haven't been looked into, but it's dangerous, like mega dangerous. I like dangerous. Right, where did I get up to? Determined to find the lost city and uncover its secrets. The journey was long and treacherous, and they faced countless obstacles along the way. They had to navigate dense jungles, cross raging rivers and avoid dangerous wildlife, but they pressed on, driven by their passions for adventure and the desire to discover something truly amazing. Finally, after weeks of travel, they arrived at the site where the lost city was said to be located. As they hacked their way through the jungle, they could feel the excitement building within inside them. Andy would be like shooting sex wee all over, knowing him. They were about to uncover something incredible, something that no one else had ever seen before. And then they saw it. The lost city, hidden away for centuries, was finally revealed. It was even more breathtaking than they could have ever imagined. The city was filled with towering temples, intricate carvings and mysterious artifacts. They couldn't believe their luck. They'd found something truly amazing. As they explored the city, they knew their channel would never be the same. They'd discovered something that would change their lives forever, and they couldn't wait to share it with the world. Their channel would continue to grow and evolve, driven by their passion for adventure and their insatiable curiosity. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. And on that, I'm definitely going to go away and try and find an amazing place in South America. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. It scared me to death. Tell me what you think. If it's something that you think potentially is going to take over the world and the robots are going to come and kill us all, let me know. If you think it's just a flash in the pan, it's something that's going to be integrated and helpful, let me know that as well. But how good is that app? Like, seriously, how good is that app? And I'm not sponsored by this app at all. It's literally something I found over the weekend, and I think it's amazing. Anyway, love you all. See you later.